Hi, everyone. This is James M. Frog. How are you? I'm at my desk, my office, just trying to organize things like pen caps. Where's the other pen platinum part? How are you? Nice to see you. I hope you're having a good week. Having a nice weekend. I hope you had a nice weekend. I had a difficult weekend. I had my reaction to my second vaccine. So that was an interesting experience. I had lots of chills and had to go to bed really early, and it was pretty weird. But I'm here. I'm feeling much better, of course, back to normal. What? So there we go. So how are you all? I hope you're all doing very well. Those are the comments and see people coming on. Good. There we go. All right. Nancy McMurtry. Good to see you, Nancy. Lisa, Diane, Michelle, Jennifer McCoy Smith. Hello. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Miranda. Hi, Monica. Thank you, Melissa. Yes, I'm feeling back to normal. Like everybody tells you, oh, it's only lasts a little bit. It does, but when it's there, it's strong. It was weird. It's a very weird out of body experience, kind of. Hi, Eve. Hello, Lori. Thank you, Vicky. You're feeling better. Angel Light, thank you. I slept for 12 hours. It felt great. Well, it's not true. Miss Maisie came up and licked my face, so she wanted to go at 12 o'clock at night. So I did some sleepwalking, let her out, and walked out with her, and then we came back in. Hi, Patty. Hi, Jen. Kat, how are you? Lisa, I'm very well, thank you. Better each moment. I always start my day. I've told you before. I always start my day with what we're going to find out today, what news is going to happen today, and how we're going to learn today, and who am I going to teach today or share information with. And every day is so different when you start paying attention to that. It really does happen. It does happen, and so it's great that you're aware of it, that you can teach people or you can experience things. It's great. And being objective is so good too. Just stepping back and looking at things, not jumping into things emotionally. Like if someone does something that offends you, you don't just jump into an emotional reaction right away, like a knee-jerk reaction. You stop. I would take a few breaths, calm down, 3 deep breaths, and then I wait and I'd objectify. I'd be objective. Okay, what's going on here? What does this show look like? The scene here, and how can I best serve this person? Or how can they best serve me? And if there's something that someone did that I feel offended about, I will tell them that, but in a nice way, in a nice, understanding way, almost like an adult teaching a child. Just a way they'll understand it. When you speak to people, you got to make sure that they understand you're speaking to them. You don't speak at people, you don't speak above people, and you don't speak under people. You meet them where they're at. The best way to be with people. Tonight's show on Both Sides Down and Beyond with Kelly White, my good friend. We're doing a show which, oh, there you go. There it is. Thank you, Renee, for putting it up. It's a show that people have asked for, so we listen to what topics people would like. And tonight's show is a very special one. It's going to be about angels, guides, and your spirit team. And a lot of people know about their guides, who their guides are, and so forth, and ways of contacting them. So I wrote a book about it, did a card deck about it, and now we're doing a show about it. So tonight we're doing a show. And within that show, at the end of it, I'm going to do an exercise, a visual exercise. Well, it's a sensory exercise that Spirit gave me this morning when I was meditating. I've never done it before. And it'll be an interesting one from what they tell me. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to contact your guides and helpers. So that'll be tonight. So please join us tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And today I'd like to talk to you on this show, SoulCARE. I'd like to talk to you about mediumship because my new course, Mediumship 1, is now available. And the first phone call is May 19th next week. But I want to talk to you about mediumship. And that's how you can register. There you go. And Renee will put the link on there. Because when I was writing my blog this past week, I want to talk about mediumship because a lot of people don't know enough about mediumship. In that, what is it all about? And I have my blog in front of me because I want to remember the different things that came into my head when I was writing this. And it's so interesting when you write things, from my point of view, my experience, as you're writing, I put myself in, it's just, again, to a different space, an alternative space of some kind, and it just flows through. And when I was thinking about my mediumship, I never really thought about it until I started doing this blog. And I want to mention it to you because people think that talking to dead people, mediumship is all about talking to dead people. Yes, that's part of mediumship. I'll tell you that. That is a very good part of mediumship. I love that part. And I always say that the hardest part of my job as a medium is not talking to dead people. That I've gotten that skill. I can get better and better. Of course, we always can. But I have that skill to do that. The hardest part is seeing as a soul, you see another person and you're able to see all their abilities and potentials, and they don't see it for themselves. And if you somehow can get through to them and help them to see the gifts that they have and have them believe it or see it for themselves, then kind of like that light bulb goes off. I've seen that. It was a light bulb, but it's a light that does go off. I've seen that. And that's really what has helped me. But mediumship is really not talking to dead people per se. Mediumship is a way of life. If you want to go through mediumship and be of service to humankind, to me, mediumship is one of the most incredible things you can do, because you're working with love, the power of love. Um, and the moment you really help another person to realize there is no death, because people get caught up in death and limitation and fear of death. When there is no death, and they know there's no death, you don't have to have fear. You should have no fear of death. You don't need to have fear. There's no pain whatsoever associated with leaving the body. None. It's a natural occurring thing. We do it every day. We leave our bodies at night, not consciously, but unconsciously. We will leave, the spirit body leaves the physical body and goes to the other worlds. So we do it, and we've done it many, many, many millions of times in other lifetimes, without a doubt. So it's nothing to be fearful of. The worst part of the whole thing could be leading up to it. So if you have a disease or a sickness that has pain involved, that can be rough. But I've said it before here too. We have a scientist who invented medicines for that, like morphine and things that will help with pain. I don't think we should be in pain here. But I want to read this to you because it's pretty good about mediumship. It's not just talking to dead people, as I said. It's very easy for me to say that mediumship has taught me more about living than dying. It's very, very true. Because with mediumship, it taught me about the laws of the universe. And that really is what I refer to all the time. What you give out, you get back. And I see it when I'm demonstrating communications from the other side. They will often talk about mind medicine. They will talk about what you create within your mind. The thoughts that you send out to the ethers will create. You're the creator. You have the God spark within you. And that God spark will create with the thoughts that you have. That gives you all those are all the different ingredients you have to create a thought, to create reality as you want it. And when you send out that thought, you're putting that in the ethers, and it will become realized. It will become materialized. So you must be careful, of course, the thoughts that you send, the ingredients of those thoughts that you're sending out, the quality of the thoughts you're sending out, whether it's sending it out about yourself, about your future, about your love life, about your family, about your friends, about a situation that happened. You want to be able to send out positive thoughts. If you want positiveness back in your life, you need to start sending out positive thoughts. So that's one of the things I've learned. First thing from mediumship was you are what you think you are. And I know that firsthand too, because of mediumship is about thoughts. Spirit will come through with thoughts to their loved one, and they come through with their personalities, and along with the personalities come the emotions of them. So that's something that when they come to the emotions, that sometimes they're not proud of how they treated someone, or they didn't have forgiveness, and they'll talk about that because it's right there in that thought. And they have that thought still with them. I should have given my daughter more love, or I should have forgiven that person, or whatever it might be. You should have loved myself more. Whatever it is that comes through with those thoughts. People mix up often what a psychic is and what a medium is. And for those who don't know that, every medium is a psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. In that every medium has to first be a very excellent psychic. They have to be able to tune into energy, which is really what a psychic is. Every single person here is psychic from one degree or another, and mediumistic, by the way, from one degree or another. First, let's say the psychic. So a psychic is a person who's a sixth sense. Well, the sixth sense is not five. The sixth sense is the knowingness. It's your intuition. And intuition means into the soul. So it's your soul language. So when you meet somebody for the first time, you'll feel something about that person. You'll feel the energy. You might not know what it means rationally or analytically, but you're feeling the energy of that person. And you'll feel, or you'll have a response, how you resonate with that energy. Does it feel nice? Does it feel not nice? Is it something you have to worry about? Is it like a hesitancy, or is it a free-flowing thing? So you'll be able to pick up on that. And you'll be able to pick up things maybe then about their past, how they've gotten to this point presently. And you'll be able to also tune into that energy of what might occur, the possibilities of future of that energy in the future time. So that is really what a psychic person is able to do. A medium is also very, very psychic, but on top of being marked as a good psychic, they are able to then bring their own energy to a certain level and awareness, and really open up their mind and surrender to a point, surrender the space in a neutralized space, that they're able then to let spirit come in and fill that space with thoughts, with memories, with emotions, with visions. And the medium then takes those visions which don't belong to them and they give them to their recipient. And a trained medium is able to tell you exactly what their thoughts are having, what they see, what they feel, the emotion. And that's what a medium does. Now, mediumship takes time to develop. And in my first course of Mediumship 1, which I'm teaching right now, I give you basic understanding of mediumship. I do put psychic information in there too, because I want the person to really move up and get that skill set to a certain point before they're able to delve into the mediumship. It's two very distinctive things, and some people like psychic work better than mediumship, and some people like mediumship better than psychic. I personally like mediumship because it's fuller for me. It's a fuller experience. And many people think that, oh, can't be a medium. I'm not a medium. Of course, kidding. We're all mediums. So what is a medium? Well, a medium is a person, a person, a soul having this human experience, clothed in this body, this garment of the human, which is a body, which is not real. It's only temporary, and it's our housing for a temporary period. But the soul is the mind. The mind is the soul. So what that means is you will be influenced every day, perhaps inspired every day in some way. And you'll have inspiration, you will have thoughts. So there might be a thought, maybe you're an accountant, maybe you're a baker, maybe you're a financial person, maybe you're a tech person. You will receive these thoughts. These thoughts just don't come randomly. Now they might, of course, that's always a possibility. Of course, they come from yourself. Of course they do. But you're also being inspired. So the spirit world, your guides, your teachers, family members, career guides who are around you will come and inspire you to open up to a certain aspect of your being that maybe you didn't think of before. Maybe it was latent in the background and you never used that part of yourself or didn't think you were able to use that part of yourself, but they're inspiring you to look at something in a different way, to do something in a very different way. You get inspiration. So that's mediumship. So we're all mediums. So, and it's all energy. So it means the energy that you use is how, and where you put that energy is what defines what you do. So for instance, a creative energy, which is what mediumship is, it's creative energy, inspirational energy, whatever you want to call that, is used different ways in different people. So like a radio, you have different stations. Well, one person might use it for counting, one person might use it baking, one person might use it for carpentry, one person might use it for jewelry. I don't know. It's all different ways of using it. A medium is somebody who uses that energy to open themselves to hearing from the higher realms of the spirit world. Every single person here has had an experience with spirit. I know you have. Whether you were a child, you're very open. When you had dreams about people that have passed over, or you hear somebody and you look around. So we all do have these abilities, and they can be worked on. They can be opened up. They can be, if you will, excelled. Now, to the level that is different with each person. So I think everybody has, I love the analogy that everybody has the ability to play the piano, but not everybody's a concert pianist. And not everybody wants to be a professional medium, but you can open up your skill set to a point where you do receive. You might not be able to do it all the time or get it the right way, but you'll definitely know that they're there. And with Mediumship 1, it's great ground rules because I told you this last week. I had a Mediumship 2 class going, and there were several students there that I called on and said, "You haven't taken Mediumship 1. How do you know?" They didn't know you. I haven't. And how do you know that? So I can tell by the way you work. You're not grounded. You're not centered in your being. You're not working from the heart space. I can just see it. I see it in the auric field, and I see it in the way you're giving out the messages. So it's important that you have good groundwork, and that's what Mediumship 1 is. What else can I say about this? Make sure I cover everything for you guys. Yes. So it's a series of courses every day. Every day every week you're gonna receive a course. Oh, there it is. Here we go. This is what. Thanks, Renee. This is a course what it's about. So it's an online certification course, and every week you get a hands-on video lesson to watch all the different lessons that I go through, the philosophy I talk about, and it's really well. There are 6 really in-depth videos that you can play back again over and over again until you get what the ideas behind the subject. So sometimes take 2 or 3 times before you open up your mind enough and get out of your way, because like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, or your ego's involved. It's like, oh, we gotta change the headspace first. So I work a lot of that in the first 2 videos, like changing your headspace. And once you open up that, and you get to a point of surrendering and opening up, and you get into that sense of knowingness, it helps your whole life. It's not just mediumship, but you'll be open to other experiences in life too. So it's amazing how much this affects your whole entire life. And there are also techniques I've never used before that my own unique techniques from spirit have guided me that people mediums not use that I know of that have not used these before. And I also do two big phone calls. The first one is May 19th. Next week is the first big phone call, 2-hour phone call with exercises and so forth. That's the welcoming one. And then I have a Facebook page that I work on with you. And then also I do another call with you. And also, what else is there? It's also lifetime access, so that you can use it over again, all the time. It is life changing, and the reason it's life changing to me, again, I'm going to repeat this, is not only because you're learning about opening yourself up to a spirit realm, the spirit world, but when you open up to that world, they teach you as a medium what it's like to live spiritually and what you can do to improve your life. And I tell you, I'm so different now than I was 10 years ago, in a spiritual sense. And I've become to realize that everybody has their way. Everybody comes in with a whole unique pattern. No one's the same. And I should never treat anybody the same. Everyone's different. And we really have to celebrate the diversity and the differences in everybody, because that's what the world is about. The moment we stray from that, we try to make people who are our own, then we're going to a dead end, excuse the pun. But it's not going to work out, because it's not the way it's supposed to work. God is limitless. You can't limit God. God is limitless. God is everything, everything. So you're going to meet people of all different belief systems and understandings, and the people, very unevolved people who do not great things, to extremely great humanitarians, and there's all those in between. So you learn from everybody, and you can't really judge the person that doing the act. The act itself judge, but the person doing the act doesn't know any better. They might be at a certain level. So that's that. Okay, so a couple of questions we'll take now from people, because I get a lot of these questions about Mediumship 1. So finally, it's here for you to sign up with. Okay. So Renee, with some questions, if you can. Hi, Heidi. Good evening, Jeff. Hello. From Germany. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks, Heidi. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Lisa Lanelli. Is that how I know things and don't know how I know it? Lisa could be more psychic. That's really what you're talking about. And here's one from Renee Hansel. Can the mediumship course help us connect with our own loved ones? Yes, definitely you can. It seems connecting with those close to us is harder than those we don't, because of emotions. Yes, many times, Renee, yes, it can be hard because you're an emotional connection there. So sometimes the discernment is harder, but you should be able to connect in a different way with relatives. We're going to try that in a little bit, do an exercise just the end. Today, I'm going to do an exercise that's unique and exactly addresses what you're talking about. Okay. Okay, any more mediumship questions? Let's see. What are your best tips for keeping out of the ego? Yes, well, that's part of the course, is that I give you different processes and of stepping out of the ego in different ways to let that go behind. Because if you're in the ego with mediumship, you worry about, oh my God, I'm going to get this right. Is this message going to be right for this person? Oh my God, that's the ego talking. So you have to let yourself, really, you have to let yourself surrender. And you have to get to a point of letting go of control. Oh, that C word. Oh. So control is, unfortunately, so many people that run their lives, and it ages you. It's not good for you. It really isn't. Control, you have no control, first of all. You can't control other people. You can't control situations. You can only control your life to a point by sending out what you want, knowing what you want all the time, or realizing that, loving yourself, and respecting yourself, respecting the space that you're in, the energy around you, and letting nobody tear that apart, nobody take that down, nobody own you, nobody abuse you. That's what you have to do. Yeah. And that way the ego gets out of the way and just become aware. You don't need the ego. Ego, edging God out. So we learn in the first mediumship 1 about letting go of ego. This is Debbie. How do we let spirits we know they are with us? How do we let spirits we know they are with us? I don't know what that means, but in the course you learn about how you know when the space changes, when your space around you changes, and you feel the subtle differences, you'll know that someone is there. So I've used this analogy before. We'll say a feather is falling from the sky. You put your hand out. You'll receive the feather. You land. But if you go looking, but snatching, trying to grab it, it'll move away. And it's the same thing with mediumship. It's learning to use the subtlety. It's the subtlety of energy. So it's like the breath, breathing in and breathing. We do that all the time. But imagine doing that when you don't have to think, oh, God, do this. You just do it. It becomes so light. and it's surrendering. It's learning to, I often say it's like learning to swim. And once you swim and you can float in the water, wow, you feel very relaxed. That's just like mediumship. When you learn to swim, you can't learn to unswim. Once you're in, you're in. There's no way back. So once you know how to do that, the technique, and it works for you, then you'll be able to do that. Now, will you choose to continue that as a career? Maybe yes, maybe no. But one thing is important to learn. Through mediumship one, and there are other ways, of course, that I call it the divine spark within you is lit up. Once that spark is lit, it can never go out. So by spark being lit, I mean compassion. I mean the spiritual light, the essence of compassion, love for other people, for yourself, for the oneness of all things. That light will be lit, and that'll never go out. So you might choose to go into a different type of work. Let's say you choose to go and be a missionary somewhere, or you choose to work in social work, or that light will still be there. So along with it, you'll bring that sense of compassion from what you've been taught here, or what you've opened up to. And that will help you with everything you do. So it affects every aspect of your life. Yeah. I receive many messages from loved ones who have passed over my dreams. The dream state is the number one way that they can do it. How can I harness the ability for my walking life to help others? Take mediumship one. That's how you can do it. That's my answer. Linda Noel wants to, is there a clickable link on the screen? We can't do it on the screen, but we can do it in the comments. So right now, as you see the comments, there's a linkable, and it's under my name, James from Prague. Look for me, my name. Click that; it'll bring you right to the page. And there's payment plans. It's not that expensive, but there are payment plans. I prefer you do it than not. If you want to, if it resonates with you. Okay. Oh, so Susan Aram says she's a medium in Canada because of James. Good for you, Susan. I hope it's going well. So Teresa Witton says, "I'm afraid I'm afraid I'm gonna be near something. I'm afraid I'm gonna be needy for my. I'm just reading it word for word. I'm afraid I'm gonna be too needy for my angels or guides or God. So I ask for good health, nothing more, and then thank them every night." Well, Teresa, there's an issue with that. There's an issue with that. You're bringing in fear. How do you expect them to work with fear? Fear is human. Fear, false ego appearing real. Right? FEAR, false ego pyramid. So you can't give it up to them to do that work without you doing any of the work. You got to do the work. You can't let them do the work. You got to give them something to work with. So you have to, number one, get out of the fear. And how do you get out of the fear? I don't know what you're afraid of. What is there to be afraid of? What is there to be afraid of? Look in your life and what is it? Why am I afraid? You don't need to be afraid. There's nothing, there's fear and love in life. That's all there is. I don't know what you need to be afraid of, but you want to find out why. So you'll be able to assess them much more. By using love, because the vibration they're at is love. So when you're using, I'm afraid, anytime you're limiting love, you're limiting that sense. So angels, guides who come to you, we come to you in a kind of half-assed way because they're not coming in love, they're coming through your fear. Just something to think about. Put your question with James about the mediumship course in the comments. That's a great one, Renee. Thank you. Thank you for everybody. By the way, Friday night I did my spirit messages. Thank you for joining me. It was a wonderful night. I'll have another one in about a couple of months. I'm doing every couple of months. But I'm going to be doing another one with another medium, so you'll know about that. Make sure you join the email list to get notification of that. It will be this is from Christy Vassal. Hi, Jay. What is your number one tip for keeping your positive energy level high? TIA. Loving yourself. Loving yourself. Finding that little girl within you. And having joy. You know, we used to hopscotch as kids and jump rope, and I used to play with cars and trucks and all that sort. I do that every day. I do fun stuff every day. I have a doggie which keeps me young. She's like a puppy. She's not. She's like 11 years old, but we act like we're a puppy and kid. I have a swing set in my backyard. I swing every day. I let that joy be there, and even when life is hard, I find the joy. Like even last night when I was going to my reaction, my vaccine, I was having chills like Mr. Freeze. I started making a joke, like, oh, like Mr. Freeze and Batman, but I knew it was not going to last. It's like time. So, don't get caught up in that. That's how. Okay, Sharon Burke who says, I am an empath and feel I'm losing my gift. I am under so much stress lately. Could that be the reason? Well, Sharon, you answer your own question. Yeah. Where are you putting your mind? Stress. Why do you have to have stress in your life? Don't need it. Why do you want to have that in your life? Don't need it. Shar Downey Jr., do you think as more people take your course and courses like yours, that more people wake up in the vibration of communication with? Yes, without a doubt. Good, very good, Shar. Yes, it's the same thing using for this vaccine. The more get it is that herding mentality. Yes, it changes the consciousness of the planet. It'll start, and it already has. In the many years I've been doing this work, it's very different than when I first started. They wanted to lock me up and put me away. And nowadays, everybody is aware of guides, is aware of communication with their side, TV shows, movies, books, very popular in 2000s. And yeah, very popular. Everyone around, I think, has an opening of that. Very different than what it used to be. It used to be very rigid, very skeptical. A lot of people, yes, there are still skeptics out there, but not as many. Not as many. They're opening up the possibilities. Having a limit God is just incredible. Good question. Very good, Char. From Clairbond, is it possible to connect the famous musicians in dreams who have passed over, James, please? Yes, very much so. And you can ask them to come in your dreams as well. And I brought through many creative people that way. Yep. Yep. Cindy Sparks says, I meditate and have coffee with God several times a week. Very, very awesome. I do the same. I have my coffee, I meditate with God and my doggie. As I take my doggie for a walk, I have to have a cup of coffee with me because I'm not a morning person. And she is. And it's a nice contemplation walk. It really is. It's just lovely. And I do that every day. It gets your day started, sweetheart. It's a great way to start your day. It's very funny. I was looking at Robin. You put that up, Renee. Robin, yes, we're all limited by our own thoughts. Very true, Robin, 100%. And Robin, you're so real because it's so right on. Because think about it. We as a soul, like 20 to 30% of us are here, but 70%, 80% is out here. So we're our mind. We're our thoughts. And thoughts create a reality. So it's very, very true. We're unlimited by our thoughts. If you think you can't do something, you're limiting yourself. And God, that's just so, I told someone the other day, it's like radio bandwidth. Station 88.6 plays violence and judgment and ego and this, that, and 106.7 plays healing and love, compassion and possibilities and joy. I don't know where you want to put your mind, but I'm putting my mind on 106.7 because that's where I want to live. And that's what I want in my life. So I'm going to make sure I surround myself with positive people, with positive this in my atmosphere that I'm entering. That atmosphere. My house is, personally, it's like my temple. And people walk in here and they go, wow, I don't invite a lot of people here. I just don't. I just can't because I set the space and I walk, but they walk in, everyone's like, it's just like a church. That's it. Well, I set the energy here and it's all intention. It's all intention. And I have some beautiful gardens I've created because of the intention and the love. And a lady who helps with the garden, she looked around the day and said, wow, the flowers, everything loves it. It loves it here. You've done a good job. I really love what you've done. So, don't they? So yeah, it is what you think. Okay, so Teresa is asking, Teresa Whitton, Darren Smith fear of asking too much. Okay, Renee, you want to put that up there? Teresa Whitton. Okay, Darren Smith fear of asking too much, not being grateful for my life enough. I'm grateful for my blessings. Others need more than God than I do. Thank you, Darian Smith. I don't know what that means. Who is Darian Smith? We don't know who that is. Asking too much. I'll see the writer in me wants to say it's the double O. Too much, not being grateful for my life enough. Okay. Okay, so I don't understand this message because it's a little all over the place here, honey. But because I don't know if that's you, Teresa. You're talking about somebody else. No fear. Okay, should be any fear. You can only help certain people so much. You can't, if people want to be helped, they want to be helped. You got to think about yourself and loving yourself. Again, I'm going to say what I said before. Is just being open to receive. It's a good thing to receive. Everybody's born with an unlimited amount of abundance and joy and love, but they have to be able to feel worthy to receive it. And part of the mediumship class also is getting to that mindset, and you will. It automatically comes with the work. When you sit in the silence, you sit in the quiet, you begin to become aware of that sense that you are grateful, that you are deserving, and you are a loving being. And you cannot do the work of the medium or even connect if you don't have that love within yourself. So it's a great way to start loving yourself as well. And I say that because I've been such a different relationship with myself since I started mediumship. I felt worthful. Not that I didn't feel worthless before that, but I didn't know what my life was about, what was I do, and I found that it was like the answer to everything. It really was. And it taught me so much spiritually. What do you recommend for the best attunement? Besides my class, sitting in the quiet every day for 20 minutes, sitting in the quiet and get attention to your breath, become aware of what happens around you, being aware, mindful of the subtle energies around you, slowing down the mind, slowing yourself down, and listening with your heart. Best way. Clary Kate, James also has an amazing book called Wisdom from Your Guides, Spirit Guides. Thank you. I do clearly, Kate. Thank you very much. I love that book. I'll be talking about that tonight on our show tonight. Both Sides Now Beyond, my book and my cards. I'll be doing readings of the cards as well. I have a special meditation at the end tonight for guides, and I have one for us in a couple of minutes. Going to do for a mediumship. Thank you very much, Bridget Weaver. Hi, James. I'm in your HSP class. Yes, highly sensitive people. Yes, it's amazing how the universe is providing chances to develop healthy boundaries. Yes. So that's it's a great course. It's it gives to highly sensitive people. It's thank you so much. My world is changing beautifully. That's great, sweetheart. Liz Beck, how can you remember your dreams at night? You keep a journal next to your bed. That's all you do is do that, and your subconscious mind will know you've done that, and you'll be able to wake up and write things down. It will happen. I can see visions during the day and while meditating, but I cannot remember sleeping dreams. If you want to remember sleeping dreams, put a journal. That'll help, Liz. Anne Marie Zizo Leary. Is it common for spirits to put an old song in your head? Yes, especially if there's part of mediumship. Many spirits come through with a song, and you see the title of the song, and it means something. That you'd be singing all the words that you never knew before. Yes, they will do that. They impress you or inspire you with that. It's actually a form of mediumship, which mediums in the past that I know have used songs as the evidence. A title of songs, lyrics of songs that they never knew about, and the person, the recipient, understands everything they're saying. So that does happen. Very much so. Good to Anne Marie. So you already have the beginnings of it. Renee Wendt, I've had so wonderful spiritual experiences, but they aren't often. How can I increase my spiritual experiences? Take the class. Mediumship 1, the best way, or like the attunement question, sitting in the quiet. Spirituality is going with your soul inside you. It's getting to that soul. It's not outside. It's inside. So you got to go inside. It's the best way. So you got to get out of your head and into your heart. Hardest part of mediumship. Hardest part, going from the head to the heart. It's the hardest part because we become programmed to use our head all this life. Now we have to go back to the heart, as we do with children. Children use their heart. So you got to go back to your childhood, your heart. And then that whole journey is interesting. We go through that because a lot of traumas come up, events, and we go all through that mediumship one. Abby Pilon, I believe in reincarnation. Good. Well, if you believe in reincarnation, then let's open up to reincarnation. I also believe in reincarnation. But I'm wondering, why is it we can connect with spirit if they're reincarnated? So if that spirit is reincarnated, why are you limiting a soul? Why are you limiting spirit? Do you think that soul is just this one body at this time? The soul is much, much more than that. So right now, as you're aware of this physical body, you're part of this physical body, your soul, who your soul is, what your soul is alive on other planets and other solar systems. But you're only aware of this one part of your soul. So you're part of this personality of your soul, right? But there's so many more aspects living, experiencing life in different ways right now. That's also part of your soul. But we've come back with a soul group. And these are beings who are friends and family and relationships in this lifetime who chose to come back on Earth this particular time. That this soul group made up of these souls will come back here, and we have a remembrance of this. And when the person in your soul group passes over, they will stay in a certain space. And when your time becomes over, they wait for you. And that person, the personalities, you'll remember those personalities of that soul, of those souls. So that's what we do. We think back, but never limit God. Yeah, good question, sweetheart. I said often. Debbie Zoller, will you class teach you if you're linking to a spirit of light and a spirit who has not gone yet? Please, light, please. Yes, I don't really believe that much. I do think it happens, but it's rare that there are earthbound spirits. I think the only earthbound spirits are us here in the body. We're earthbound. We're here on the earth, right? When there's freedom and love and going home and there's light and your family is there and love there, why would you stick around? So again, it's where you put your thoughts. So with that question, it's interesting because I would think there's a limitation there. So you want to go to the highest aspect, the highest aspect of yourself. And the spirit people are from a loving space. They don't come from any space than that. At least the ones I've worked with. Okay, a couple more questions and I have an exercise. Kathleen Elk, I have been seeing a lot of double numbers. What does that mean? Oh, it means some synchronistic experiences for you, my love. Hold on, I had a book here I put out. Yes, hold on. because I know this question comes up all the time, so I wanted to make sure that I'm cleaning my office, my books. This is Doreen Virtue's book, and it's called Angel Numbers 101. So it's Doreen Virtue, who is now a Christian, which is just fine. She writes some great stuff here, and really, we're the best book I've ever seen with numbers, all different numbers, and tells you what it's about. And she's really incredible, and she really she knows her stuff. When she did this work, she was pretty much channeling incredible information. It's so true. Yeah, it's great. So that's the book. Okay, for Richards, Angel Numbers 101. It's still in print. Thank God. Okay. Jennifer Wood, I've written all my spiritual tools down on note cards, and when my anxiety and fear rises, I pull out those cards and work a tool. That's great, Jennifer. So much better than numbering tools on the machine. Oh, Jennifer, that's great. Great. So now you can do. I have a book. I have a card deck called Talking to Heaven. Oh, maybe that's the one I would talk about. One of my card decks. So was it from the guides? Maybe it was from the guides. You should get that and put those cards around and see what that's good to too. Same thing. Yeah. So if you get cards, they love yourself. Well, then that day you do something that you love yourself. That you've never done before. You do something you really love. You feed your soul. You've got to feed yourself. You got to feed yourself spiritually. Sharon Donnelly, do you think the class would help my son who has been going through a Kundalini awakening? Oh, without a doubt, 100%, Sharon. You should throw him in there. Throw him in there because he needs to know all about what that means. He probably doesn't know what that means. So you need to get him some education. It's a wonderful basic grounding work that talks about energy and bringing the energy up and the chakra points and how to use each chakra point. Yes, very much so. You got to do something with him for sure. Because you don't want that energy to get stuck somewhere. So when Kundalini rises, sometimes people get stuck in the solar plexus area, which is your power center, and they don't know how to bring it up higher. And those people have that usually end up being egomaniacs. Trump was one. He definitely did. He had ego. A lot of politicians do, or president of CFOs, or just people and certain people with ego. Major egos have that. Some people are sexual. They just go down the second chakra. They can't bring the energy up. There's sexual addiction there. So some people that go through some traumas and abuse or emotional upheavals, and their solar plexus or their second and third chakras are affected. Or the fourth chakra, heart, they might have gone through a bad experience, a grieving experience, losing someone, they never got over it, or losing a relationship or something, and it still stays there. So they're moving that energy all the way through. So I talk about that all the time. I go through in the course, it's called Running Your Energy. And so you do every day, and you run your energy, clean out the chakra points every day. So I'm going to give you a little exercise right now from the course. Actually, it's not from the course. It's because of the course I'm doing this exercise. So I'd love for you all to do it if you don't mind. It's an easy one. You just got to close your eyes. Okay, just close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I'm just going to walk you through a couple of spaces here. Okay, just close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, you close them out of the outside world, and you open to the inner world of your soul, of your light, of your heart. So imagine now that you are aware of your feet, your legs, your backs, your shoulders, your arms, your stomach, your chest, neck, your head, arms, your hands, of course. And I just want you to imagine now that there's a golden light that really is it's almost like a glass of water just pouring down upon you. And with each breath that you take, you're going to breathe in this golden light into the body. You're going to breathe in through your nose, and then let that beautiful light surround every cell and every muscle, every fiber of your being. And there's a warmth to that light. It has the qualities of healing, of oneness, of warmth, of happiness, of joy. Brings you back to the truth of yourself. And as you exhale out of your mouth, we're going to set the intention that as we exhale, we're going to release any stress we've been carrying, any stress from other people, their energy we have upon us, any limitations we place upon ourselves, any fears that we have, any health issues that we fear, we send out. And we leave us then that sends the body with a neutrality, with this golden light to take over. So again, let's inhale, move down to your feet, bring in that light, and exhale. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Good. And inhale, all the way down, golden liquid all the way through, every cell, every fiber, every muscle. And exhale, a lot of old energy coming out. You sense the old energy you've been holding on to. Oh my goodness. And inhale. And let go and exhale. I see a lot of other people's energy coming out of your spaces. Wow, it's interesting. And inhale. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. Now in that space, just being in this lovely space, your eyes still closed, I want you to put your awareness of your thoughts into your heart, in this beautiful heart space. The soul is tucked neatly behind the heart. We want to go into that heart space of love. So within you, that soul, that space in the heart, there is a seed of the soul. And in that seed is really your soul from the beginning of time, the eons and eons of times you have been around, the universes. And within that seed is pure light, the God light, the spark light, the beauty, the compassion, the beauty, the sense of limitlessness, joy, and happiness. And I just want you to come into that space, that awareness of that. And as you become aware of that loving space, let that run all through your body. Feel that joy, like a 10-year-old jumping up and down. Good. Feel that love and just loving yourself. Good. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Good. And now that nice loving space from your heart, I want you in your mind to remember one situation in your life where there was a confrontation with another person. Maybe it was a family member, a coworker, a partner. Just pick one moment, not many, just need one moment that perhaps you weren't happy with what they said or you left upset. Something didn't happen nicely. Just pick that one moment. Maybe there was some judgment. And just, I want you to observe it. Just be aware of it. Be aware of it. And you will remember maybe words that were said. Maybe there's a knee-jerk reaction from both of you. Who knows? But I want you now to go into that other person's heart. That other person's heart. Now, there should be someone who's passed in the spirit world. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Someone who's passed over that you didn't have good times with or something happened. It was in the spirit world right now. So someone in the spirit world. And I want you to go to that time, that scene, that memory of a bad time you had with them that maybe you wish it could have been done differently, perhaps. So I want you now to see that person. Even if you have bad memories, go into their heart. I want you now to go into their heart and go into the heart. And that love that you experience for yourself, they also have that love, but perhaps it's covered. Perhaps things have happened in their life from their childhood or different traumas that you may not have known about. Many things happen to them that you don't know. There's a reason why they said what they said. Maybe they weren't aware of what's going on. They shouldn't have said certain things. What do you feel as you go into their heart? And you may even feel or hear them in your thoughts say something to you. And just listen. Everything is done of love. And sometimes we get upset. We forget about love because we get more into the ego, fear, instead of love and divine. Good. Good. And become aware now of the deeper understanding or awareness you have of them and of yourself. And let them leave you with parting words. Your spirit friend, we thank you and bless you for your work here today. And we help each one here that's here on this call to open up their hearts and their minds to a bigger, more expansive awareness of themselves with each thought, each word, each step they take. We thank you and bless you. And take a deep breath and exhale and slowly wiggling your hands and slowly opening up your eyes, becoming aware of this space again, back into this limited space of Zoom, but we're all over the world, which is a great thing. So there we go. Renee, you can put the link back on if you want in the comments. That'd be great. Thanks, Renee. So there you go. So everybody, thank you very much. If you're interested, which I hope you are, I know it's just one way of going into it. I mean, that space, very quick way, but it's a long process with 60 videos, you can imagine. I hope you had a good experience there. I think some healing was done in a very quick way. But again, it opens up your sense of awareness or observation that people aren't always what they appear to be, and that things that can be, petty. Now we look back at them, but it gives that opportunity, and that's mediumship. We just did. That's a form of mediumship. We get better and better, but that's how light it is. You see, it's like that light. So if you're interested, please do sign up. And my first call will be this May 19th, and it'll be a 2-hour call with exercises and get you on your way and help you out. So God bless you all. According to tears, good, honey. Tears cleanse the soul. And Mediumship 2 will be announced, not right now because I'm working on Mediumship 1, but it'll be announced in the summer. It'll be announced. Okay. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. And please go to the course and we'll sign up. Ray, thank you very much. Okay. Bye-bye.